Oh yeah.
Woo! Ow! Yeah.
Other noises. Yep. That's right.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to It's Happening Show, community grassroots media for the people by the people. I'm Jose Gloria.
And I'm Dylan Thompson. We are your hosts tonight.
Are your hosts indeed.
Indeedly do.
Hey, It's Happening is a movement of the heart and of the mind. It's the energy of the universe that creates waves inside us and all around us, which allows us to activate, motivate, then elevate vibrationally and intellectually towards love, truth, justice, and wisdom. It's happening in every which way.
It's Happening is a culture of empowerment. It's people have the right to exist and participate as equals. It's a dream of what the world could be, but the future we want is only possible if we make it happen. So stand up, get informed, and fight back.
Fight back. Anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with us, so we thank you because of you.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Woo.
All right.
Yeah, I can never hear you when I'm doing that, so I just assume we're in sync.
We're not, but
okay. Well, let's get that in post.
Yeah. Okay. How are you doing, good sir?
Making it.
Making it.
Yes,
dude.
Still.
How fun is our Dungeons and Dragons group?
It's too fun.
It's like yes.
Yeah. You're a good rogue that when you steal in situations like that are totally inappropriate. So. Good on you.
Good on me.
You're doing it well.
Well, it's a learning curve, but yeah, I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's one of those things you can do during COVID with Zoom. Yeah. It's all you need, and then your imagination.
Your imagination, dream a phantasmic dream.
Is this a musical segment? Because this was unplanned. Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and quick into our quick stories before we get into we have our awesome guest for tonight, Christina Dillard. We'll be talking to her in a bit, but let's go into quick stories.
Oh yeah, quick stories. Wait, I thought we eliminated this segment. Okay, never mind. We have to talk after the show. Okay. The law's coming down in Houston. Now, if you're not wearing a mask there, the police may give you a $250 fine. Yeah. Whoa! So that's it's funny how torn I am about this. Like, it's good that officials are taking this seriously and want serious repercussions, but then I'm just thinking about how the cops are just going to make their COVID quota. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a mixed feelings on this one, but especially considering how volatile the subject is, even to mention it. As far as I've seen, this is the first news story that had these kinds of consequences attached to not wearing the mask. So let's see more news stories coming out of Houston in the coming weeks.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like people are saying you're putting me in danger, so you should get fined. If people are getting fined for smoking cigarettes in the beach, I think they would get fined for not wearing a mask because you're not being safe and caring about people's, well-being. So
what about their right to infect you with the disease? that is a political expression of the most intimate sort.
Yeah, no, it's a legit question.
No, yeah, it's weird.
It's America.
Yeah, it's the same logic as a seat belt, right? Like the government will make a law that punishes you for not adhering to a simple safety procedure. But the fact that it's just so widespread and applies just being in public and seeing people, it just feels so invasive. But the logic behind it is similar, right? So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of not wearing masks, people refusing to wear them. Pennsylvania man who refused to wear a mask gets into shootout with police. In this, and hashtag white privilege is also a part of this. Pennsylvania man who refused to wear a mask inside a store and fired a gun at store employees ended up in a shootout with the police a day later, according to authorities, according to thehill.com. The man who took 2 cigars without paying from a cigar store in Bethlehem Township after he was asked to wear a mask under the store's police, police said. The man identified by police as Adam Michael Saborowski allegedly pulled out a semi-automatic handgun with the store staff member when the store staff member followed him outside. He fired 1 round in the air and then 2 rounds as a staff member at the staff member. No one was injured, so that's great. But man, these people are really serious about not wanting to wear their mask, man.
Oh my God. I don't know how connected that is, but let's just say officially for the show, they're all like this, and they're all bloodthirsty killers. No, I'm just kidding. But I wonder though, because this guy was just like had warrants out for his arrest. I don't think he gave a damn in the slightest what was happening, regardless of a pandemic. But yeah,
right.
Wild stuff.
Yeah. So, and all this tied into our new and popular segment, Karen's Corner.
Wah, wah.
Karen's Corner.
Karen's Corner. Are you too privileged for your own good?
According to Newsweek, a panel of white women named Karen launched a petition demanding different label for racist and anti-maskers. So this panel appeared on a UK, United Kingdom television show in which they blamed the media and anti-racism protests for unfairly stigmatizing their monikers. The group of Karens discussed how their shared name has unfairly become synonymous with racism and anti-maskers through memes, TikTok videos, and news reports in recent.
I almost don't believe this.
Yeah.
This isn't an Onion article, right?
Yeah. This is not fair for us to have to put up with this. One of the Karens. Yeah.
Tragic. So, they were born into Karenhood.
Yeah. Hashtag not all Karens.
That could be the next protected class, by the way, is if you were named Karen at birth. You cannot be called a racist.
Yeah. I remember people it was don't be a mark. Did you ever hear that? People using the name Mark in a bad way. Oh, that's what that meant? Yeah.
Oh.
You're such a mark.
Oh yeah, people call me Mark all the time. Huh.
Yeah, and then it's
I thought it was an honest mistake.
And then people were like, oh, don't name your kid Mark. So yeah, Karen and Becky are slowly but surely becoming the names not to name your children.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It'll come back. It'll be like a retro kind of post-modern kind of naming your child thing in probably 20 years. Don't worry. We'll get our Beckys and Karens back.
Yeah. So that was that. Karen's Corner.
Karen's Corner.
Probably Karens all over.
Whoa. Okay, moving on to more news about our coronavirus situation and focusing local in Orange County. Evidently the coronavirus pandemic is taking has a lot far more consequences for our cities of Anaheim and Santa Ana, mainly because they not only have, I think, a higher concentration of essential workers, but also higher housing density, like a higher number of person average per household, right? So not only do you have a lot of people leaving their homes to engage in the economy and engage with other people, usually, hopefully socially distancing, but they have to come home to crowded households because there's a lack of affordable, multi-generational, appropriate housing for families, especially in Santa Ana.
Right.
Yeah. So this article from the Voice of OC, it just talks about how Latino Health Access is doing the best they can to serve this community. And these are the kinds of people that I think are going to be left out of a lot of the stimulus and other kinds of benefits that are offered, right? Usually the powerless are ignored in these situations. So good work, LHA, to continue serving this community.
That's right. Absolutely. yeah, good on them. I think there was a video that Washington Post did with, and Medica Bracho, the executive director of Latino Health Access, was interviewed, and other folks who they've for a long time had promotoras. It's like just neighborhood medical I don't want to say practitioners, or just folks with that have a very basic and general understanding of different things, and how to treat various things, or connect them to resources, for professionals, and just trying to address the very serious need, even before COVID, of folks that were uninsured or underinsured, right? And their ability to address issues of high blood pressure, diabetes, and
Right.
and, giving them resources, but also, telling them about how to eat right and manage their health. So yeah, big ups to LHA, making that happen. Because Anaheim and Santana is getting, because of the service industry, there's a lot of folks that are, in contact with people in nursing homes, or in homes of people in Huntington Beach that are not social distancing or practicing, mask wearing. So, Yes. All right.
It's happening.
Speaking of wacky people,
Oh boy.
QAnons and pandemic believers and so on. Viral sensation Dr. Stella Emanuel said Jesus will destroy Facebook if her COVID video doesn't go back up. Yeah, he means business.
Is that substantiated by scripture? By any chance?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's 3rd Luke.
Thou shalt not let Facebook control freedom of speech.
Yeah, I think with the numerology thing they do to it, like, how people like get secret messages out of like the Bible and stuff. Like they cut it up into like every prime number, you take a character and then you add 10 and it says, "I love you, Jose." And you're like, see? I'm sure it says a lot of things when you cut it up like that. But
all that.
Yeah, do you follow this person on social media or?
I do not, but I mean, she became a sensation after, Donald Trump, of course, shared her video along with her and other doctors that are saying that hydroxychloroquine is the cure, and that the government is trying to suppress that, or not the government, Dr. Fauci and others.
Oh, like the deep state and Fauci.
Yeah. Leave Fauci alone. He had a rough couple weeks with that failed attempt at a pitch during that baseball game. But yeah, so he's saying.
Yeah, I felt sick after watching that. That's for sure.
That was brutal. It's like she said, "Hello, Facebook. Put back my profile page and videos up, or your computers will start crashing till you do. You are not bigger than God. I promise you. If my page is not back up, Facebook will be down in Jesus' name."
Honestly, I hope it does happen, just so we can finally just answer the damn question. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like every time something like this happens, I actually just think, let it happen, and then we'll finally know. You know what I mean? Okay, sorry about that. Woo!
I think Jesus has better things to do than to worry about Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. That's just, he has important things to talk about, like talking to Mike Pence and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Making a direct line to him.
True.
Yeah.
Good analysis there. I like that. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. So this lady, but yeah, she's relevant right now in the moment when all opinions matter, but no.
Right. Not all facts, though.
Not all facts. So let's go ahead and move into our headlines.
Headlines. Wow. There's so much news in this program. There's 2 news segments. Yes. Headlines. Yes. I'll take it from here, buddy. We got some news. Pittsburgh It looks like they're launching a guaranteed income program with money that they received from CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey. So it looks like they will be able to give a certain number of people in the city $500 in monthly guaranteed income with this money. And so, what is this program, by the way? Apparently, the CEO of Twitter donated $3 million to it looks like 16 different cities to try to implement programs like this to be like a proof of concept of basic income, right? And so this is one of the cities that's starting that program and selecting a few people. So like I think it's supposed to be like a data-driven thing. They're like, let's actually try it, and then let's use that data and see like, did we get good outcomes? So I mean, it seems great. Like, I mean, this is our people need relief, especially right now, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking, doesn't there's some states or some cities that do that, like they pay people to stay, but I've heard of it only because these are states like, I don't know, like Vermont, where it's like ridiculous cold, right? Like it's like it's very uncomfortable to live.
You better pay me to live in this.
Oh yeah, they're like,
place, yeah.
Please, come here, we'll give you money.
Right.
But no, I mean, I think more and more, Andrew Yang popularized most recently this idea of universal basic income. It makes sense. It makes sense. I think this is something that cities and states and countries even will have to, truly look into as more and more jobs are eliminated. Recently I've seen that I believe Walmart, I was reading an article, is gearing towards eliminating cashiers altogether, having us all, swipe our own stuff, which I'm down for, because I'm like, I can do this faster than they can.
Oh,
but
so competitive, man.
I know, right? Like,
yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
Got this.
Yeah.
Like you can just look at the barcode and you know how to type it in and stuff. Like, you don't even have to see the number, Yeah, you got skills. No one's saying you don't. But I mean, my cautionary warning about all this again is like, I just feel like if you don't fundamentally restructure the economy and you let these giant actors control huge swaths of it, then what's the future going to be like? Like the 0.001% own the robot army that automated the entire economy, and then we have to take handouts for them. It's like we're swearing fealty to a new kind of are they our lords now? Because actually we depend on their income for survival. I'm like, so like that's what's scary about this. It's like, are we going into like neo-feudalism? Because like, I'm all for this income stuff, but you have to restructure the economy at the same time.
I agree. At some point, it definitely feels like subsidizing corporate greed.
Right.
And that's not what we want to do. It's one way in which it plays itself out is the conversation around rent control, right? Some people are like, no, rent control bad. Let's give people that need a little extra money, some help, so you're subsidizing their rents, but that doesn't fix the problem when, of rent gouging and greed, and extreme unbridled capitalism, right? So yeah. So much more, but let's go ahead and jump into our segue story into our awesome guests for tonight. So Irvine, according to the Voice of OC, which I just became a sustaining member of, and you should too.
Oh yeah,
you, Dylan, because you use all
I
it
did
all the time.
I accidentally signed up twice and I didn't cancel the second one. Oh,
ooh,
I'm flexing. Me
too.
I just kind of wish I could log in and not see the ads. That's my only comment for our dear, beautiful friends at the Voice of OC.
Dearest of dear. Shout out to Norberto. And,
oh yeah, big time.
Geeks out there in Voice of OC. Holding the investigative journalism. Irvine City Council denies Great Park residents a voice on what their special taxes build. So this came out on July 27th on Voice of OC by Noah Biesida. As residents of the Great Park area have started asking for more representation in the development of Orange County's largest civic construction project, one of their special taxes largely fund, Irvine City Council members have largely remained silent on the issues. Calls started growing after a series from Voice of OC outlining that homeowners surrounding the Great Park are on the hook for at least $1 billion in future special taxes on their properties that go towards the development of the park, without any say on how it's used. While the residents were aware of the special taxes, many didn't realize they were going towards funding city projects at the park and not their own neighborhood's development. Irvine resident Eugenio Zhang said, "When we bought a house, nobody told me my taxes were actually paying for Great Park facilities. I thought we were all paying, all we were paying for was for the schools, for the best amenities exclusively used by residents. Now I realize that all of the money goes to the ice rink and to the water polo project. We're just like a cow being milked." So it goes on to say, if the facilities are for public use, why isn't the taxes from all the residents of Irvine paying for them? When called for comment, 4 out of the 5 council members declined to comment or did not return calls from Voice of OC. So yeah, the only one that did mention this was Farah Khan, who's been on the show before. And Farah said that she is in full support of an advisory committee of residents, but she would have to look into how adding a new member to the board would function. She says, "I would love to get more input from Great Park residents on the agenda items presented at the Great Park board. We don't have as much input as I'd like to see. It is a huge project and it affects the people living here, and it would be helpful not only to us for future development, but for future development happening here." So yeah, there's a lot at stake here with this Great Park, and the conversation is very charged. That's a lot. $1 billion. And since 2013, that article says the city council has approved over $1 billion in potential debt for the Great Park homeowners, with just under 5 minutes of discussion, a vote always taken before homeowners move to the area. So I am not super knowledgeable about Irvine politics. Perhaps Dylan and his friends are, but I know, I know enough, based on what I've heard and seen, that there's different interests at play, and Irvine for a long time was very progressive when it came to their affordable housing development. The Irvinians were able to build a semi-utopia. It's one of the safest cities around, I believe, and it's also one of the least fun, according to one of the least fun cities in the country, in OC, for sure. In OC, yeah, it's pretty dull. It's like, just when you drive in there, you just like drive for like a long way, and like huge roads that no other city has, because it was all planned out. But I believe Mr. Irvine, I don't know. I'm just making that up. But so yeah.
In defense, at least they have some restaurants. Oh well, but this is before COVID, that were open past 9 or 8 p.m. You could find a lot of places open till late. But that's pre now. So sorry, I'm defending Irvine. That's weird. Oh. Sorry,
you have some good food and good restaurants there.
That's
but
true.
I'll just say that there's always all sorts of interesting politics going on, but and many, including Irvine mayor being sued over Facebook blocking and deleting of comments, and most recently I've heard about the community choice energy proposal to switch Irvine into more sustainable energy. So again, for the sleepy town that it is, it seems like on some of the issues it's on the right side of it. But there's a lot at stake in this upcoming Irvine City Council race, and so we are happy and glad to have with us tonight Christina Dillard. So please come on into the Zoom.
Woo!
Howdy.
What's up?
Hey guys, how are you guys doing?
Hey. Good.
So Christina Dillard was born in Detroit, Michigan, and moved to California at age 3. She graduated from Miramar College with a political science degree. She's a single mother of a 3-year-old, and you are running as a first-time candidate for a seat on the upcoming election for Irvine City Council.
I am.
Welcome to the show again.
Welcome.
Yeah. So first things first, why?
Well, like you guys are saying, Irvine's one of the safest cities, but I think it's only one of the safest cities if you're white. So
Okay.
that's pretty big, but it's really true. There's the whole stigma of driving while black in Irvine, and oh, you're driving through Irvine. Well, be careful, don't get pulled over. Like there's a reason Irvine is the safest city, and I don't doubt the police's capabilities of doing their job of protecting and serving, but to what extent are you protecting and serving? To the point of where now are we racially profiling? Perhaps,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I definitely felt like, hey, why is there nobody that really looks kind of like me in my political offices or any of my elected officials? So it's like the closest one that comes to looking like me is Farrah Khan, but she's still she's not me, she's not black. And so it's like we need to see more diversity. Irvine is so diverse for how little diversity is on our council.
Right. Indeed, that is the case. Yeah, I mean, and speaking about the diversity, I mean, maybe some of our viewers aren't that familiar with Irvine, but do you happen to know some of the demographic breakdown of the city?
So it's 44% Asians, it's 44% white, 40% Asian, like 1.2% black people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm up against.
Right. Yeah, I see.
You're up against the machine, right? That is, the establishment that has controlled Irvine for
masters.
Yeah, the gatekeepers and the kingmakers. I mean, this is rough stuff. So, I mean, you're a first-time candidate. What inspired you to? I mean, you have a political science degree, so I mean that usually means that you want to get involved in politics until you realize that it's a S show, to keep it PG-13, but it's a swamp. Who wants to jump into this icky, nasty swamp that is electoral politics? And Christina Dillard says, jumping into it. So, and it's great. I mean, we need more women of color, and especially in this moment, I can't say enough about the need to have more representation of Black women, in office, especially locally. I can't think of any. In Orange County?
Oh, no. The mayor of Tustin is Black, Letitia.
Okay, that's right. Okay, one.
that I know of right now.
Right, and I know that Kenneth, we had him recently. He's trying to run to get the seat on City Council in Anaheim. So yeah, but was it part of everything that's happening right now with the Black Lives Matter movement?
I'll tell you the story, okay? Quick, Too Long Didn't Read, TLDR, right? So when I was like 6 or 7, I decided, what is this movie Legally Blonde? Like, what is this? Okay, well, I sat down, I watched it, and I was just so inspired when everybody was telling her how she couldn't do it. She was just a pretty face and just wrote her off almost completely, but she turned around and became one of the best attorneys, and she stopped animal cruelty. That sold it for me right there. And her second movie, Red, White, and Blonde, that sold it for me. And so I always knew I wanted to make a change. And my mother told me ever since I could remember hearing words and understanding words that I was going to do big and great things. And so I've always, live by that. You speak your existence, and I've always believed that. And so I think this is just the start of doing something really great. But to me, it's just another day of just doing the right thing, of just being a good person. It's just I really want change. It just doesn't seem to be happening in its current state. It doesn't seem to be happening with all the old recycled politicians we keep putting into these offices. I think it's just time that we kind of clean the house.
Oh yeah, definitely with you there for the most
part. I agree. No, it's very commendable for truly, because, and also it seems that you're like a one-woman show, right? I was reading on your website that you're the treasurer, consultant, social media person.
I've definitely had a couple people reach out to, join me and help and come on to the team, but all of us are newbies. None of us really know exactly what we're doing. We're not these bred and groomed politicians. We're fresh meat. We're doing what we feel like we need to do to win this. We're doing what we feel like is the right thing to do to win this, and just doing this the right way.
Right. And can you differentiate that, what you mean by doing it the right way? Because a lot of these politicians we are electing, they think they're doing everything by the book and by the rules. So what does that mean to you?
I don't believe in taking big money, period. I think my campaign has raised maybe like less than $300 altogether so far. I don't accept anything over whatever, you can donate through the website. I don't allow, and I've noticed this. I've noticed a lot of people are like, well, the endorsements and the endorsements and this endorsement. I'm like, well, what about the endorsement of the people? Like, what about that endorsement? Like, that's the endorsement I really care about. And it's like, I don't care about all these other endorsements that you have or you think you have. It's just that even the DPOC, like their endorsements, it's just like, to a point you want to stop fighting for it. From a point you want to stop, like, you just want to like stop all of that, and just clean it up. Get those old politicians out. Let us, have a say so in our lives, in our world. And so it's like, I think that getting all the big money out of politics is like one of the first steps. Transparency, just being really honest and open. Like, I don't understand why that's so hard, to be honest. So it's like,
well, because they have something to hide.
That's right. That's true. Yeah.
And again, on your website it says that you're running an ethical and clean campaign with full transparency. So I guess that's what that means. Like, it's like you don't have nothing to hide as far as people that would contribute to a campaign that would be part of the special interests, right? And every city,
like my history growing up, like, I'm an open book. People, all you have to do is ask, and it's like, whatever comes up, I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not ashamed of my history. I'm not ashamed of any of that. I believe in just being honest. That's the only way I can really connect with, real people, is by being real.
Absolutely. One thing that I've seen locally, and a lot of folks I feel are getting inspired for different reasons. Some say, like, Bernie Sanders and that whole movement inspired a lot of folks, right? Definitely, inspired me and a lot of other people to get involved in political, campaigns locally, and seeing, like this whole not me, us. What does it look like on a practical level, on a local level? And it means that candidates that are not in the pockets of special interest are running, for, and winning, these seats, and starting to bring a city government, down to earth, to the people, as you mentioned. So, I mean, so then you either have money or you have people power, or a combination of the two. So it seems that you're banking on your ability to connect with people. So what are some of the things that you've done or are going to be doing as far as trying to build up that understanding or that connection with the people of Irvine and your campaign?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? So it's a matter of like what the people really want, because I'm only one person, so I can't, fully enact everything on my own. I can't get all these reforms on my own. So my biggest thing is to start stuff. I've always been pretty active in the community. I do have a 3-year-old. I am a single mom, so he takes up a lot of my time, and so I'm not as active as I'd like to be. But before even deciding my candidacy, I had decided that I was working with children. I was a summer camp counselor. So my camp counselor name was Coca-Cola, and I was always so bubbly and so happy, and so it was great. And that feeling of those kids, like, I don't know how to even explain it, because maybe I was one of those kids that really needed somebody or some outlet, and I didn't have that at home or didn't have that at school. And so when I went to summer camp, it was that outlet, and I really connected with them, and my counselors and my counselors in training. And so that struck me to be my own counselor in training. When I turned I think 15, I was able to be a counselor in training, and I did that for 3 years, and then went back and worked there when I turned 18. And I realized that these kids need somebody. These kids need something. These kids, they're broken, and they're our future. And the only way our future is to get better is if we help reach out to these broken children. And that's not just the children. I believe that for the senior, I used to work a lot with senior citizens. I love the senior community. I think they're amazing. I sit with them fairly often, just to, or at least pre-COVID, to try to, really. I get the lonely factor. Nobody likes to be lonely. And I can only imagine some of the loneliness that they feel. And even now through COVID, some of the loneliness that some of them might feel, I can only imagine that being unbearable. And so I'm really big on that aspect of that. And so I've been, before, COVID, sorry guys, a lot of this is before COVID because can't do much now. And so I was definitely started doing the protesting, and once George Floyd had passed and or was murdered, I'm not gonna even say he passed because he was murdered, and so
Now,
I started actively protesting, and then people from the community came to me and would be like, "Hey, you should run, you should speak, you should be more involved in our community. We like you." And so, I mean, how can you say no when people are really asking you? You know, how can you be like, "No, go away. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm only going to show up here to the protest," because it's like this. Like, I realized in that moment that just going to protest isn't enough. That's not enough. I could sit here and yell at people all day. That's not going to get the changes we need. So it's like, step up, girl, do something then. Show them that you're not playing. Show them that you're serious. Show them that this is not a joke to you. This is not a moment. This is your movement, because this is my life.
wow.
So yeah, I've always been active in the community though.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So.
Yeah, Irvine, Irvine, for as sleepy as it is, I mean, Irvine did have an Occupy, what is it? Settlement? What is it?
It's an occupation.
Yeah. And it was always interesting because when there was Occupy Santa Ana, Occupy Irvine, and they had like the best like camping material. They had like cooking material. They were just like they got hooked up, and we were over here, just struggling, right, Dylan? Like, it was bad. But no. Like, so what I meant to say was that there's a history of protest in Irvine.
Yeah.
And so there is political awareness and consciousness and stuff. So you participated in them in Irvine or in other cities?
Oh, no, in other cities too. No, not just Irvine. Definitely majorly in Irvine because, this is where I reside. And
right.
no, I've been in the one, and I think I was at Tustin. I've been in the, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I want to go to the one in Santa Ana, but I do have a 3-year-old. So I was like, I'm kind of nervous. I'm a little bit scared. Right. And I'm Black. So, that's really not like, I just didn't feel comfortable going. I don't feel like the police would be on my side in that aspect, even if I'm trying to be the voice of reason. I mean, we look at what they're doing in Portland, Oregon to the mayor. So like, I just don't, if they did that to him, I can only imagine what they would do to me, bro. Like, right. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not going to touch that right now. And it's like, I know that standing here getting arrested and getting tear gas is very important because that makes the boldest statement there is. But knowing what I know and knowing that I have the ability to go behind the scenes and do the political work, seeing as, I have a political science degree, why wouldn't I? Absolutely. Why wouldn't I use that to help everybody else? Why wouldn't I just use that to just pave the way for somebody else?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good use. It's either that or teach. Or right. I mean, there's other things you can do, but right. Practical application is great. And so can maybe to help our audience understand Irvine and its politics a little bit more, maybe you can tell us a little bit about some of your like platform ideas that are maybe a little more specific.
Yeah. So right now, one of our big issues are, I don't know if you guys heard about the UCI students and the housing crisis that's going on here pretty, recently, and that the ordinance that was released that they couldn't do short-term housing, which a lot of students look for that short-term housing, a couple weeks, to get through to whatever they need to get through to do that, or sublease. And so now with the new city ordinance in place, they can't do that. And then they also can't do less than 30-day rentals. So I know that senior citizens who live in their homes and you do Airbnb to gain income, and that's their sole income, that they can't even do that anymore because of the ordinance. And I feel like I understand where Irvine comes from when they don't want overseas tenant or overseas people from overseas buying a property here, but still living off overseas, renting the properties out. And like, I understand that to an extent, but then it's like, if there's people here in their cities that live in their homes and want to rent rooms out to people, I don't think that we should be able to tell them no.
Right.
I think that a lot of people were upset with that in retrospect, majorly to the student housing. And so, I mean, a couple proposed ideas I had with that was to create like I'm new to the political aspect of it. So, my ideas are still ideas that I'm trying to, get championed by my council members and stuff. It's, right. They're busy campaigning, and they're all about the campaign. I'm all about the action right now, you guys. So I'm sorry. And so it's like, my deal is, okay, well, why don't we set up a 5 to 10 mile radius zone, like a zoning radius that says, okay, well, within 5 to 10 miles of campus, these students are allowed to have this type of living agreement or type of Airbnb arrangement or something like that. That's just, like, I think a compromise. And if you can't compromise in politics, then you're not gonna, you see the best for everybody. You're only gonna try to see the best for yourself. So it's like, I feel like if you buy a house next to a college, the reasonable thinking is that there will be college students living here, living near me, living local, that's just something that you need to keep in mind when you're buying your house. And that's something that real estate agents will tell you. Even, I've studied for my real estate license. I'm like one class short of my real estate license. So it's like, they tell you, oh, well, make sure your clients know that, they're living next to a school and they know what they're getting into. And it's just, there's a lot of local issues like the cemetery. And it's like, I don't understand what's the holdup with building our cemetery. We love our veterans, and we have one of the highest veteran populations in California. So my thing is, why can't they rest here?
Yeah, and was the proposal to build at the Great Park or a nearby property?
So if you would like this little bit of background on that, so 5-Star, I believe it was 5-Star Irvine Company, one of the major, developers here that pretty much owns Irvine, wanted the Great Park, the Artria, which is the land that is next to the Great Park or on Great Park that the cemetery is supposed to be built on. They had did a land switch, and this is back when Larry Agrum was back in office, and they had did like a land switch, and so the cemetery was supposed to be built on, somewhere by Tanaka Farms, and the cemetery is supposed to be built by Tanaka Farms, and something else would be built by Great Park, and 5 Point would take that over. There was a really big, storm about that, and the people did not like that. They said, "Why are you moving our veteran cemetery?" And then that was the whole like Mayor Shea, Larry Agrum issue a few years back. Now the issue is that they decided that the cemetery will be built at Great Park. Now it's just a matter of the funding for it and getting it built.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of history behind that. And so it's like,
it's a long history. I understand, right? Been kind of a boondoggle where they're sinking a lot of money, changing plans.
And a lot of this was done out of public eye, hush hush, trying to keep it very low key. And that's the issue that you guys were talking about with the whole Great Park special tax, is that a lot of this is all done very low key, very hidden. And that's something that I don't believe in at all. I think that the people at Great Park should definitely have a say so in that special tax that they're paying. And if it is going to Great Park, like as in the whole city gets to enjoy it, then why does the whole city not have a special tax? Because those are very valid points. And I don't agree with council members avoiding the subject. I feel like if you really want to reach out to somebody, reach out to the city clerk. She's done so much to just help me. And like any questions that I've had so far, she's answered with no problems.
Doing her duty as the
is.
Clerk. Yeah, for sure.
One person doing their duty,
Yeah. Yeah, good looking out to staff. Always looking out to staff. So one other question maybe pertaining to the Great Park, it's like the influence of real estate development, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand there are pretty much like large swaths of land that are either going to be development or currently under development. And there's a lot of hungry people that want a piece of land in Orange County. You'll see how dense and how little available land there is left. So I don't know, is that part of the political calculation, or I'm not I don't know who the actors are. Yeah.
They keep that stuff real hush hush, tied up in a little box. Like that goes into like how I don't know if you knew that the Irvine city manager is actually retiring in about a month or so. Oh. And the city council is the one that elects a new city mayor, or new city manager. And the city manager, does the city budgetings. They look at that, and then they do the police chief. They hire on the police chief. So there's a lot of hush hush involved with who gets to pick these positions. And I don't think that's right. I think that's something that needs to be more transparent, more notable. And so I think that with that, there are a lot of them that are in those developer pockets. And I'm not. I'm the clean slate. That's pretty much what I am to Irvine, is a clean slate. That I'm the one person that can be like, no, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not in your pocket, so I don't owe
Mm.
you anything. I don't care what you say. You can't offer me anything I don't already have. I have my son, and I might have my health, and I'm great. That's sorry.
Well, it's one of those things where special interest money, whether it's developer money, whether it's weed money,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's police officers association money,
Mm-hmm.
or other types of money interests, tourism
That
money,
needs to be all done with the people.
chamber of commerce. There's all sorts of entities, whether they're just people that give money to candidates because they, it's a quid pro quo, right? That's the word of the year.
Right.
Or just trying to buy influence, and it seems like that's just the way it is, and you're saying like that's not the way it's going to be, at least not with me. But then it does then put you in perhaps a disadvantage of sorts against other people that are like, yeah, give me all that money, I'm here for it.
Right.
Send it.
Nom,
Send
nom,
it
nom,
over.
Their
So
name out there, that's what they're doing. They're paying for their name, but I don't believe in paying for a seat. And like, to be honest, you guys, it's not about winning or losing to me. I don't see it as a me versus the other candidates. I really don't. I see it as I see it's just me trying to make Irvine a better place for my son, for my son's friends, for the kids of tomorrow, for the kids that have not been born yet. And like, I don't see it as a me versus them, because I'm willing to work with every last one of them. But there's things that I'm not willing to bend on. My beliefs, I will stand on those firmly. I will be that no vote in the face of 4 yes votes. I stand by what I believe in. And I don't feel like enough of the council does that. And that's sad. That's really sad that you can be so easily swayed like that when it's your citizens and your residents' best interests at stake. And so I'm really active in a lot of my local online groups. I'm really active in a lot of them. And so I really like to ask them a lot of these questions. I do.
Yeah.
I reach out to the people, because it's like, why am I going to ask people who don't understand? Why am I going to ask people why am I going to ask the upper class about lower class problems? No, I'm going to go talk to the lower class people, see what the real plight is, and try to work out a legitimate solution to help them.
Right. Yeah, and that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. It's like Zapatista principle says lead by obeying.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like don't, and so that's it's like you're getting marching orders or directions or suggestions from the people that you're claiming to represent, not the 1% of the population that has money, that can buy influence and buy the ability to dictate the terms of the discussions and then the decisions that are made.
Life terms. I don't understand that. Who needs to be on a seat for the rest of their life? I believe.
Is that what's happening in Irvine?
No. It's a 4-year seat term, 2-year for mayor. I just, I'm thinking even on a larger level, because I eventually plan to get to that larger level, but I don't understand how there's the whole lifelong seats and how you can.
In Congress. Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't understand why you need to do that. I think there needs to be room to let the younger generation actually come in and take over, because as you can see, there's been a shutout of our younger generation.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. Is Irvine an at-large city?
Sadly, yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's tough.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the potential would be for it to switch to a district by district election.
That's actually part of my plan. That's like part of my initiative, is like, hey, why are we still at large when we have such a disproportionate population of Black members in our community versus our whites, Asians, Pacific Islanders, like, and our Latinos, and like why is it that now we have an at large and majority of this is now like, I don't feel like my vote means anything. I don't feel like my vote has any diction on it, because it's an at large state. So it's like, I have all these high class people that are trying to sit here and make decisions for me here in middle class, but they don't understand the middle class plight. And it's like, I'm trying to sit here and vote, but we have a very high immigrant, living here. We have a very high immigrant ratio living here, or an immigrant born at least. And so And a lot of them, they don't get to vote. And so I think that's, first of all, a problem within, if it's within city ordinances. I think that immigrants within the city, if they live in the city as permanent residents and pay their taxes and everything like that, you should be able to vote on local city, ordinances. You should be able to vote for local things. I don't think that there should be anything stopping you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think some cities have been able to do that, and other folks have been flouting the idea, especially like places like with undocumented folks, or it's like, well, we're members of this community too. We pay taxes. We are impacted. I wish we would have a vote.
Right. It's sad. And like even like, convicted felons, I'm thinking like, wow, okay, so even if you got convicted on something that could have been totally, faulty or just, whatever, and you're sitting here trying to battle that battle and you can't even vote, but you still live here, you're still trying to pay taxes, you're still being a part of your society, and that's part of the problem. They keep these people down. They don't give these people a chance to build and come up, and that's a big problem. That's something I want to change. I want Irvine to be the model city that it so claims it is.
Absolutely. I have a question, and kind of getting from the comments section around housing, because we talked about the housing around the Irvine and the challenges there. But also, I mean, one of the things that I always bring up around Irvine is the fact that Irvine police takes homeless people, picks them up, and drops them here. But my city, Santana, or Anaheim, or wherever. And this is not cool, man.
I'm so ashamed of that, you guys. You have no idea. Like, that is so shameful. And like, me and my mother sit here and have that same conversation every time, all the time. Like, why do they always just pick up the homeless people and move them somewhere else? And that's one of my biggest platform pieces, is that I'm talking about outreach for those homeless people. I'm talking about outreach for the mentally disabled. If a mentally disabled person is walking down the street having an issue, why is that illegal? Why is that a problem? This is how they're trying to get it out. If they're not hurting themselves and they're not hurting anybody else, they're just kind of, ranting and raving. Let them. Maybe that's what's keeping them going. Maybe that's, keeping them from just losing it all. And then by you stepping in and trying to dictate how they're supposed to react and how they're supposed to feel and how they're supposed to express themselves, you're only going to shove them further down that path of just like losing it. And it's like, I definitely support, doing, I want to see a homeless shelter here in Irvine, because we have homeless people here in Irvine. We do. And I feel like as soon as you start to see them, the police picks them up that quick.
Right.
Yeah, those are dangerous words, whenever people are saying like, we need a homeless shelter, because, like people then are like, no, like,
well,
not,
we have
not in my backyard.
Why couldn't the homeless shelter be built over by the food bank in the warehouse district over there, where there doesn't seem to be anything going on? Right. If we just have available property just sitting there, I mean, I've even looked into it. I've driven over there myself to look into it, and I'm not sure why we're just letting it sit there when we can be doing so much more.
Because if you build it, they will come. Or you build it, then you're on the hook for having to take care of human beings, and heaven forbid that.
I'm sorry that we have to look out for one another. Maybe we could get to a point where we don't have to worry about the homeless population like that as much.
True.
Just a thought, food for thought, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, it's refreshing to hear that from a candidate, truly.
Yeah. And maybe a little follow-up there is like, I think we saw maybe a year or two ago a Board of Supervisors meeting where a lot of people, I think from Irvine or otherwise from South County, came in and were protesting the idea of putting a shelter there. So for all those people, like, what would be your message to them to try to convince them that that's not the right way to address the issue?
You guys like my honest message, like the very honest truth?
Expletives are permitted.
I would give it to you. You guys really need to take yourselves out of your own box, that little privileged world that you're living in, and put yourself down Compton Street. You need to go look. You just need to go look, okay? You need to, first of all, realize COVID-19 is real. And what if you and your family are now out of a home? Because it's happening to anybody. Nobody is really safe at this point, and people are getting, fired left and right. Unemployment's about to, cut that $600. There's no second stimulus so far. And so people are about to really hit a breaking point. Things are about to start getting really rough and really scary. And so those people really need to wake up and realize that this wouldn't be as big of a problem if we had better resources in place for issues as this. This is the whole reason why COVID-19 is so impactful and so detrimental, is that it really highlights the US's flaws. It really highlights that we weren't prepared for to help our people. We weren't prepared to, if capitalism kind of failed and the economy kind of failed, there would be no backup system for our people. And now millions of people are going to die, go hungry, just be out with homeless. And it's sad. It's scary.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely exacerbates the disparity.
You.
Yes.
I would literally just look at every last person that's like, well, I don't want a homeless shelter here, and be like, well, you could be homeless.
Right.
Would you want somewhere safe to be and go? Would you want the police to just pick you up and drop you off in a city you don't know or where you're not expecting to be?
Yeah.
Same with the dreamers. How are you going to take them back to Mexico or wherever they're from when they've been raised here?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, think about the community.
Yeah, so there's a lot of heartless stances. There's a lot of NIMBYism, right? There's a lack of humanity, I think, ultimately, and a lack of understanding about, or a balance between understanding that it matters where people come from, and the socioeconomic upbringings at the same time that, that other factors are at play. So I'm looking at your platform, and we kind of touched on a few of them, but talking about criminal justice, reform, environment, immigration, economic inequality, social reform.
Can you guys give me 1 moment? I'm so sorry.
Oh no, go for it, please.
No, I have just myself on
We're gonna have an intermission. Jose. Oh.
Okay, guys, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jose, we can do the emotional check-in now if you want.
Okay. How are you okay? Are you feeling good at this moment?
I feel bad that there's bad feelings between our people. Between the people of North County and the people of South County.
Is South County?
Huh?
Irvine, South County, or you just want?
I think so. I mean, I think it's actually centrally located.
One of our commenters can our viewers can share.
Yeah.
Is Irvine South County?
I think it's considered South County. And can we just get together, guys?
Let's get together and feel all right.
It's there's a lot of resentment from the Occupy Irvine days. Just kidding.
Yeah, look at
for any of our friends watching.
What do I know about Irvine? Occupy Irvine, Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine grew up there, and
well, that's good.
I know, and that built is angst for the world, apparently.
Yeah, I mean that'll do it. I mean, let's just say we had some other friends who grew up in Irvine. So I think that sufficiently radicalized them. Just witnessing it. So
I know. I'm always there's enough of my white ally folks out there in Irvine, fighting the good fight. Felicity Figueroa comes to mind.
Oh yeah, no, there's great people out there, man.
Yeah,
and I feel like can we just get together? Can Irvine people not be afraid of Santa Ana? Can Santa Ana people not think? I mean, all Irvine people are I'm not gonna say it. I'm not helping. I'm just saying.
Irvine, dude.
There's something there. No, I'm just saying.
So
of all of our people.
So Hallie said that technically it's central county, but there is a South County vibe sometimes. I
think that's a good assessment for sure.
For sure. And then Justin Fong also said there was a nasty post on a homeless person that someone made just this morning in the Facebook group Irvine Residents Connect. The poster took a picture, probably without the person's permission, and made a bunch of gross generalizations about the unhoused person. Sounds about right for Irvine.
Well, oh, come on. We're trying to become understanding about Irvine. We want to hear from our other people, our beautiful people from Irvine. While we're on our little intermission, Let us know something we don't know about Irvine. Like, there is a progressive underbelly there? So I know many of our progressive friends actually live there. The more I think of it, the more people I can actually think of. So if you're listening, give us a little factoid.
Hey guys, I'm so back. That was the DPOC actually.
Oh,
right.
oh,
Would you guys like to hear about that?
Yes.
oh yeah! Breaking news.
Breaking news from Irvine politics.
Woo.
So I've been in like this ongoing endorsement battle for like a few months now.
Well, DPOC, for our viewers, Democratic Party of Orange County.
Yes, the Democratic Party of Orange County.
Go ahead.
I have been one of their front runners in the race for the last like 3 or 4 months. And it seems like almost every step that I take, I'm taking it by myself. I love the Democratic Party, but if one thing I could stress to them is that people are willing to vote outside the Democratic Party because they're tired of the crap politicians that keep putting up.
Ooh.
People are willing to vote, not vote, or are willing to vote for Republicans. I feel the burn too. I feel the burn. I do 100%. And so, clean campaign, guys, clean campaign. And so, I'm up against, Larry Agram and the endorsement. And so I'm very, 100% transparent in everything. I think Larry Agram's, he's a good guy. He's, not bad, but he's older. And I think that his views, as, liberal as they are, we need more fresh young minds. And then he's been the mayor of Irvine before. And so he's just, he's a recycled politician. I think it's time to really step away from that. I think that short little thing I just did with them, I gave them my 100% honest. I said, look, I think you guys are going to be messing up if you don't choose me. A lot of people are willing to vote outside that Democratic Party, and you guys just aren't trying to realize that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So did they endorse?
I don't know yet.
Yet to see.
Oh, you'll know in 5 minutes?
I'll like 5 minutes, yeah.
Breaking news in 5 minutes.
We're going to have to keep you on until we get this breaking news. It's... Carolyn Torres, tried to get the endorsement last time, did not. Ended up winning in Santa Ana School Board. This time, so they messed up there. This time around, the DPOC endorsed her, which they rightfully should, because she's a woman of color and a progressive young voice in a moment where we need new people, fresh ideas, and desperately more women and especially women of color to enter into what is by and large a pool of white older folks that are running things all over, except for something it's brown folks, so I think that the point there is really strong, and so we'll see what happens.
I mean, it doesn't look bad so far, you guys. As honestly, when I first came back to Irvine, I really didn't think that I was going to be even getting this far, getting to this point or anything like that. And so it's really awesome to even be this far and get to this point. I'm just really excited that I can even have the opportunity to, be on the ballot. Oh, just so you guys know, I am officially on the ballot. I got all my signatures and everything. So
there you go.
I'm color and I'm on that ballot and I'm doing it, and so it's it's sad because even some of the people, colored people I look up to in my own community, choose to endorse, whoever the DPOC endorses versus, really what's right. And I think that's something we need to break away from. Because if you're endorsed by the DPOC, you can't endorse people that are not endorsed by the DPOC.
This is true.
I think that's trash.
For good reasons and not so good reasons, I would say.
That's trash. I don't think you should be able to tell me who to support and not to support. I think that's just kind of like suppression.
Well, I'll just play devil's advocate and say that when our Democrats endorse Republicans, as it was the case with Lou Correa endorsing the sheriff Tony Rackauckus the last time, that's trash. So,
that was trash.
We should be able to hold people accountable when it comes to that.
Well, right. And I'm not saying you got to vote for somebody that's, outside of your party lines per se. But if you're within that same party line and you're both progressives and you're both Democrats and you're both that, but one just has the DPOC name and the other one doesn't, I don't think that should stop that line of support. I think that's what's keeping us apart. I think that's what's tearing us down, because it's like people are trying to play this us versus them, pit it. But it really needs to be more like, let's work together. You have great ideas and I have great ideas. Let's come together, put these ideas together so we can create a real actual plan. Something that's actually going to work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, wait, I do have a hypothetical that may be helpful. What if Lou Correa endorsed Tom Tate as mayor of Anaheim? Wouldn't that be good?
Yes,
Oh, see, I mean, it doesn't, because like Tom Tate was like one of our good Republicans.
That's hypothetical. That's not even anywhere like near plausible for that to happen. So
no, but the point is, it doesn't matter who. I mean, like we like Tom Tate over any of the Democrats.
Well, I think that is the point that Christina's saying. Like, you know, when the DPOC endorses whack candidates or corporate backed candidates, or you know, people that are not, you know, have the interest of the people and have shown themselves, and even, you know, the local clubs are saying that that's what's happening, and they are ignored. Then that's when you're just like, okay, then you're gonna penalize me if I don't, you know, like go along. So
they kind of do penalize you if you don't go to line. They'll be like, "Oh, we got to take our endorsement back." You know, it's like,
oh yeah, it's serious business. But I mean, I will say that the DPOC has come a long way in the past few years. You know, with Ada, you know, Briseño, you know, women of color at the helm. You know, it was a different party, you know, before that, and it still has a way to go. But I think we know it's made a lot of steps in the right direction to make it more inclusive. And you know, I mean, I think even them reaching out to you and you being, you know, involved in this conversation and you having a chance to derail, you know, Larry Agrin, or, you know, and to be part of this conversation, that's you know, it feels like it's not enough, and truly it's not, but it is a showing that, like, even before you wouldn't even be in the conversation.
Yeah.
Whereas now you know, we are, and so the goal is to get more progressives to be endorsed by the DPOC and folks like yourself. Right. And ideally, the DPOC is full on to be able to support you and others. You know, hopefully you get the endorsement to, you know, to have a chance.
I totally didn't get the endorsement, you guys. I got 5 votes and out of like 50 some votes. So it's like,
they just told you right now?
Yeah, they're doing it right now. They're doing all the whole voting thing right now.
Oh, is it the votes are going on? Right
so is he gonna get it?
I have no idea.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna find out.
That I have 5. Yeah, they just tell me that I got 5, which is like nowhere near enough.
Something.
I don't know.
There's 5 beautiful souls out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want, you know, they're really scared of my progressiveness. They're really I've had other candidates come tell me to drop, kind of like indirectly, but directly kind of tell me, well, you should drop. I've candidates tell me they're not comfortable working with me. I've had candidates tell me like all types of crazy stuff. And I'm just like, wow, true colors are showing.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. Yeah. It's sad. But all I can do is really hope and work. That, like, honestly, that pushes me harder, just so that the next person who does it after me, I've paved a little bit of that way. I got 5 votes, you guys. Do you not know how amazing that is? Versus like the 0 votes I probably would have gotten 10 years ago if I were running 10 years ago. Progress.
Yeah. I mean, it says that there's at least a few people that can hear that people power message. And yeah. And
well, like,
we need that.
Like was mentioned, you know, that there's been, you know, times where, you know, the non-endorsed candidate wins. Without, you know, the endorsement. And so
you can't reap what you don't sow. You know, you can't harvest the fruits that you don't plant.
Yeah, I think another person on the comment section was mentioning that Alfonso Alvarez, who's on the school board as well, he received no endorsements. But
I was
your hustle and people power. So, you know, there's just a lot of good examples recently that can be followed.
Yeah, and so, and like, I'm all about that, and I'm really like hoping, you know, people I'm one person, so I'm trying to reach out, guys. You can see, like, I'm tired. Like, I'm only one person. I can reach out so much. So if like people are looking to reach out and work together to boost this, like, it's not just a moment to me. This is a movement. Like, to be honest, this whole Black Lives Matter movement isn't just about Black lives. You know, it's about ending oppression. Period. Like, if you're being abused, like, if you're just like any type of situation, it's just time for you to rise up. It's just time. It's just, this is what it's given us, and this is the cards that are dealt. It's time we really play this hand. It's no more folding. We're about to play the hand. You know, it's like everybody can band together and really beat this. Like, this is great. I'm just so excited, you guys. This is just amazing.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah. It's like it's exciting and it's overwhelming and it's all these emotions, right?
I bet.
And around, these things, but it's also nerve-wracking and you
I wish that they would do a debate, to be honest, like, a little Irvine City Council debate.
Oh, that'd be great.
They would do that, but they don't do that.
That could most certainly be organized.
Oh yeah.
If you guys are interested in hosting,
Yeah. Facilitator.
facilitate.
Yeah. So who all is running for the, from as far as Democrats for the city council? I mean, well,
I don't know.
You don't have to say their names, but how many Democrats are?
We have like 15 people that pulled papers. Like
15, and only 3 spots available, right?
Technically 2. Now, if Farrakhan wins mayor, there will be that 3rd seat.
Ah, so there's only 4 electeds for Irvine.
5, and 4 plus the mayor.
Okay. Man, seems like there should be more.
There definitely needs to be more, seeing as in how large Irvine is, in like the population of almost 300,000 people, and we only have 5 people that represent us, and then that's at an at-large voting system. I think that's just rigged. Okay, I think that's just bumped.
Yeah. And is that a full-time or part-time position, the council position?
They act like it's full-time. They definitely make it seem like that it is just so hard and so just crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, but that one email they get in the morning is really stressful. So
it gets stressful at any point in time. Like, honestly, like, because you'll have like your competitors that are like all over here and trying to like bring you down, but pretend to like push you up.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a funky game, but. I love what you said in the beginning. You're saying, like, it's like I'm trying to pave the way for others. Trying to inspire other folks that might be on the sidelines and say, like,
that are scared, that just don't know what they can do. They don't know, they haven't yet realized their full potential. Like I haven't. I don't know what I'm doing at all. And it's just like, I just know that something needs to be done, and that people need to see somebody's doing something, and that you can do it too.
I dig it. I think it's super commendable and super valuable, and I think I've heard it say, like, the path towards towards electing progressives is lined with like a lot of progressives being defeated, type of thing. Like, you have to like cut through and pave the way. Not say that you'll be defeated, but the point is
right. Even if
in it all, it is not a waste of time, because it is a successful attempt at bringing awareness, inspiration, and motivation to other young people, like that need to jump into this game, right? And also
I offer that. I offer anybody that wants to help be involved in this campaign or anything, reach out to me. Like, you never know what my answer will be unless you try. If you want to get involved in politics, DillardForDiversity.com. You guys can always reach out to me, and I will be more than happy to be like, let's go. I'm gonna have you doing this, that, and that, and I can't pay you. You'll be volunteered, but I can write an outstanding letter of recommendation.
There you go.
Dillard 4 with number 4 or
number
F4?
4.
Okay. Dillard for Diversity. Okay, I'm gonna drop it in the chat. So absolutely, folks that are tuned in should reach out to Miss Christina Dillard, and if you can, right? So folks can donate, right? Give you money.
Yeah, they can donate. I mean, if that's what you want to do, but I know that these are hard times, COVID-19, you know, people are out of work, out of money. So please, if it's your last $27, save it. I don't need
Yeah.
it. Please.
Yeah.
I love you all. You know,
Warren already got it.
I will help you if you need help. Reach out to me if you need help, because I will do whatever I can. And it's like, to be honest, the best support I could ask for is this. The best support I could ask for. Can you turn that down? The best support my mom's she's like so hyped, guys. The best support I could ask for is just the support. Just vote, you know, vote for your best candidate. Go out there and make those changes. Be active. Do what you need to do to make tomorrow better. You know, be the change you want to be. Be the change you would like to be.
Big time.
Man, I love it. So once again, DillardForDiversity.com, you know, and get involved.
Yeah.
Makes a village.
Oh yeah.
You know, we got to get the word out there.
The harvest is plenty. The laborers are few.
Right.
Yes.
There.
Hit my line.
Yeah, hit my line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know, and like the page and all that good stuff. So it's been,
Facebook's trying to keep us down, you guys. Apparently some people had like 50 to 100 people go in and report my Facebook, like my website as abusive. And so like, I can't even post my website link on Facebook, you guys.
No wonder I tried to click on it. And, like Facebook wouldn't allow.
I know. They're like trying to suppress me hardcore.
Oh my
God,
that's crazy.
I know.
I was like, wondering about that
already.
I said, dang, they must really be scared.
It's a good sign then.
Wow. Oh no, they're scared. I think they're real scared.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm excited.
Oh man. Well, this is my first time meeting you, talking to you, and I know Dylan and I are you know, really looking forward to this conversation, and hopefully it helps. You know, we don't have much of a platform. All 5 of our fans are super stoked on you.
Dude, I love just being here and talking to people. It's so cool. Like, no, don't even trip about that. You guys have helped me so much, and just like picking up my spirits and just keeping me motivated and keeping me going. Like, that's what some people don't understand. Like, I'm not motivated by winning the sea. I'm not motivated by the fame or the money, because it's not, you don't get money like that for this job. So it's like, I do this because I want to see the people smile. I want to see the people happy. I want to make real changes for my community.
Oh yeah. And that's the spirit we're sorely lacking in our civic life, and you embody it, and I commend you.
Try.
Yeah.
We desperately need, through all this movement of the BLM and defund the police, we need more folks to step into, you know, and put their feet to the fire, and you know, and fight, as Bernie said, fight for someone you don't know. So you're doing that, Christina. You know, you're embodying that spirit that's, I feel, is going to take us to you know, to a whole new, beautiful, glorious chapter in our history, nationally. But you know, it starts here locally first. So
local power is one of the greatest forms of democracy that we have. You guys, you have the most power in local power here. Like, it's unbelievable.
That's right. People power. Ain't no power people, because power people don't stop.
Say what?
Love it. So once again, everybody, please go to the website. We dropped in the links. Please like her page on Facebook and get involved. There's just so many you know, important races happening all over. But if you're sitting on the sidelines and you're thinking like, what can I do to try to like feel like I'm being some sort of productive in this moment? You know, after the protests and stuff, it's like, you know, protests, great, yelling, you know, like getting that out there. Oh, awesome. But please vote. Your vote nationally, whatever with that. Locally, you can, your vote matters so much, because you can vote to elect Christina Dillard into Irvine City Council, and that would speak volumes on various levels. So thank you once again, Christina. We wish you the best of luck, and we'll definitely be in touch to see in which ways, you know, on a personal level can help, and you know, and our friends.
Absolutely, guys. You guys have my email, my website, my phone number, probably. It's all there. Just reach out, guys. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh yeah. Another show
Ain't
come
no
and gone.
Hey, what?
Yeah, we definitely need more people with the right motivations running. That's for sure.
That is for sure. You know, and it's true. Like for, you know, a lot of folks had to. I mean, I think about Jesse Jackson, right? For everything that he was or wasn't. You know, he was that kind of like outside of the frame, you know, community champion that just like, you know, I'm going to run for president. You know, I'm thinking about the black woman, forgetting her name, the one that said like, if I don't have a seat at the table, I'll bring my folding chair. Please drop it in the comments if folks remember. But
that trivia,
you know, there's just been people that have had to, you know, go against, you know, the popular stances that people have. It's like, oh no, don't run, you're too young, you're too this, you're too that. It's like, listen, you know, sometimes folks just got to run, you know, and see, because Angie Amezcua in Santana, she won with like, she spent like $300.
Yeah.
And she squeaked in.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
That was weird, right?
I don't know how that worked. Yeah, it was just really close.
Yeah, can happen.
She just came out on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Educators are usually liked by people, and she has a cool last name, Amezcua.
Party helped.
That helped.
I mean,
man, there is just so much, so many, you know, candidates we want to get on. So hopefully, y'all will come on from all sorts of cities: Irvine, Orange, Anaheim, Santana. You know, shoot, we'll even get some Huntington Beach people up in here if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks.
Okay.
Yes. It
Yes.
was a great interview. And if he says it, that means that it was. So.
There you go. Wow. Even though we were like insulting her city a bunch before we brought her on. Sorry about that. It's
to be fair, so was like some of the commenters. They're saying like Star Palmer said Irvine is still racist. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay, so it's not just us.
It's not just
okay, and I do have to say one more thing. I wasn't gonna say it, but you know, life's short. I just want to say about, you know, the time, the Santa Ana Spring, and when Angie Amezcua was on council.
Mm-hmm.
That whole time, like the thing was like I was mad at the whole council, but I was mad at Angie not for what she did, but for what she didn't. Does that make sense? Like, and I know I love her and I'm sorry, but I just had to say it. That's my political analysis there for you.
You know, it's like not all people that want, how do I put this? You know, like not all people that are nice are good for government, right? Some people are really good at like giving epic speeches but can't really govern for craps. People will never give like a very good speech. They're shy and whatnot, but are really good at governing. So I don't know. Angie did her best, and
God bless her soul.
God bless.
I won't say that.
But then we had Solorio after that. So,
but I just feel like the forces amassed against her. Like if she were really to like take on anyone, I mean, man, I don't begrudge anyone for not wanting to take that fight on. I mean.
I think about Michelle Martinez, and when she first got on, right, she didn't know much of anything when it came to get down to like government and policies and all these things. But
man, she read.
She
talked.
Applied her a lot.
No, I mean, people criticize her for that, but I mean, at least she did her damn homework. And she was like,
absolutely,
she was like one of the top, probably the top council member during that time for as far as understanding what's on the agenda, understanding the subtext there and why things are happening. God bless her soul as well. Although I've been mad at all the councilmen at different times and then also like worked with them at different times. So that's politics though, right? I mean,
it really is. I always tell people, like facetiously, of course, I can't wait for you to let me down.
Yeah,
because it's gonna happen, right? It's like it's so easy to criticize things, and I think we were talking about this last time, you know, as far as activists or people on the sidelines, just like, you know, just throwing rocks at the electeds and stuff. It's like, like it's hard being in that position because you're gonna upset at some point. You're gonna upset even the people that really supported you, right? Like you might make 80% of the people happy most of the time, but there's always gonna be that 20% that are gonna be like hate your guts, and they'll let you through, vicious, long-winded emails.
Yes. I'm so mad at you. Hold on. You gotta go. Yeah, that's all caps. Go back and type in all caps.
All caps. All caps emails make me happy. Well,
good stuff.
I wanna thank once again Christina Dillard for being on the show. It was really it was great getting to know her. I hope folks got to know her as well that hadn't before this. So we'll see what the DPOC said as far as endorsing who or what on those races. But and please, everybody that tuned in for the first time, please like us, follow us, share this video so that more folks can, just let them know. It's like, just skip over like the ridiculousness of the first 25 minutes of just them two and get to the good stuff when Christina gets on. I'm afraid that that's happening. Like, on YouTube, there'll be the commenter who puts the skip link. Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm shocked. Yeah, exactly. It's like most liked. Skip over the trash. I mean, I'm expecting this.
You're welcome. Yeah. This is where it actually gets good. No.
This is just for us. This part.
Yeah. Hi, Kenneth. Hi, Danette. Danette, we got to get you on. Danette Abbott Wicker is also running for Orange City Council.
Yeah.
So is Eugene Fields. Katie Brazier gave Sarah Halverson Kano a shout out. We need to have Sarah on the show. I'd love to have Sarah on the show. Yeah, so let's see. Maybe Katie can help us with that, or I could just reach out to her too.
Yeah, Sarah, people.
Yeah, Sarah is the brave. What do you call her? Minister. I'll leave it. There was the church in Costa Mesa, whose name is escaping me right now, but she had a big Black Lives Matter banner, and they would always like protest her and criticize her and stuff. But now she's moving to Irvine. She's going to a congregation in Irvine. So that little Irvine's cooler.
Little progressive powerhouse down there.
Progressive power.
Oh, and by the way, one thing I want to mention is like
shout out to Hallie.
A lot of the women that helped like the ICE detainees and stuff while they were here, and I think they're still continuing that work. It's a lot of women from South County and Irvine. They're wonderful people everywhere, and we shouldn't write anyone off. And like, I love these women because they're so cool. They're like in these awesome churches, and they're so compassionate, and they're going way outside their freaking comfort zone and just like learning all about this issue. And they're just great. So
I agree. 100%.
Bless these people.
Truly. Yeah, like don't get it twisted with our
with our snarky comments about Irvine.
Yeah, it's just fun because
it's a mixed bag.
They're just so perfect, and truly, I just wish that I lived in Irvine.
Yeah, it's mainly jealousy.
Yeah, only if they had like a downtown scene, with like clubs and stuff. Because there's nothing of that. There's just
not really.
Yeah, so that's why all the Irvinians come down to downtown Santana.
Mm-hmm.
Have it at Copador
and vomit in the fountain at the 2nd Street Promenade.
Yeah, so at Fairview Community Church, that's where she was. Now she's going to Irvine Community Church, I believe. Yeah, youth pastor at Irvine UCC, so she's coming home. Hooray! What's up, Morris?
Okay, I'm leaving.
All right, yeah, that's enough.
I'm leaving the show.
Yeah, Dylan's like, I'm done with this. Yeah, no, for sure. Shout out to all the folks. Like Felicity and everybody that have been holding it down. They're my favorite white allies out there in Irvine and other places in South County.
That
are in the belly of the beast in a lot of ways, and fighting that good fight, standing up to the racists in their own clan.
Yeah.
With the C. So yeah.
Why do you have to end it like that? That got really controversial right there at the end. Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just
All right.
roll with it.
Yeah, we're just finishing the show, Morris. But please do check it out. It'll be posted up on our Facebook. So,
Oh yeah, Facebook, YouTube,
and YouTube and Spotify.
Insert other platform here.
Yeah, I think our engineer is going to put the signage
Signage.
when we sign off, so that you
Iconography.
But yeah, check out the recording of this live stream and the awesome
Live stream.
Christina Dillard, who is running for Irvine City Council. So yeah, big thanks to her. Big thanks to audio video engineer Edgar Silva for always holding it down here at Online Media Studio.
Ha!
Online Media. Shout out. Ask us about recording opportunities at Online Media.
Big time.
All right. From Dylan Thompson and Jose Gloria and all of us here in It's Happening family, we are
It's happening.
boom, boom, boom.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. The Carlton. Are you doing the Carlton?
Not unusual to be loved by anyone.
I don't doubt you can do that. Okay. That's a pretty good chair variety.
Wait, what happened? Are we not?
Are we on the internet